most of the big ones on campus are dead. And they're now starting to replant them because they have resistant clones of them, resistant to Dutch elm disease. There are some big elms down at the, what's the Eaton place across from the bookstore? Owens. Yeah, there's 3, 4, 5 big American elms down there still. But there's fewer, like we used to teach it right over there in front of Davidson, and that tree died from Dutch elm disease 2 years ago. So they still die from it. So this is it's American elm, but it's a certain clone that has shown very strong resistance to it. So here's the deal. Here's your elm leaf. Now, remember me saying Chinese was the smallest one you're going to get? Okay, this is a good average for the native ones. This one's native, and slippery is native. So you should make a note that you want to be sure you can tell American from slippery. In fact, I'm going to give you some contrasts right here. Like, we have the 5 common oaks. Well, American elm and slippery elm are the 2 native ones. So here's your crooked leaf, and here's even where the bases don't come together. So that's a very interesting. So you see that? You've got an elm. Okay. American elm, the bud, it's zigzagging a little bit. Depends how fast the twig's growing. If it's growing fast, it's like pulling on the Z and stretching it. So a little bit. The terminal bud, look, it's over. Right? American elm has. It's a dark bud, but there's reddish brown in it. You want to write that down. American elm, reddish brown. Reddish brown. Slippery, and just send it around. Slippery elm, just get it here. We'll go look at it. Black buds. Okay? Black. American elm, the leaf, we'll pass it around and everybody feel it. Pretty smooth. It can have some hairs, especially on the underside.
Okay.
But slippery elm is sandpapery. That's called scabrous, like a scabbard. It's really different. But this is one where I'll see people, it's an American elm, and they'll kind of be like getting the leaf and they'll be going, oh, I feel a hair. I'm putting slippery. Slippery is like, if you took slippery elm and rubbed it on your arm and you to braid it, you'd have a strawberry form. And it's like sandpaper. It's that bristly. And we'll see that. You'll be able to feel it and contrast that. So pretty smooth overall. Then let's take a look at the bark here. Come up here and push on one of these ridges. You'll feel it being kind of spongy. You feel it? And this one is young. They can be very, very, very spongy, and you want to look for what the spongy part, check this out right here. We're going to come around on this side. It's everywhere, but I want to make sure you're looking at the right stuff. This stuff is just soft, foamy cork, and it scrapes off, and it's just like a foam rubber, and then there'll be alternating layers of the tan and then reddish brown. Now, once it gets thicker bark, and you cut into the side of it, you'll see alternating layers, like maybe 10 of them. Tan, reddish brown, tan, reddish brown, tan, reddish brown. The tan, and you can see the streaks of it, that's the soft, foamy cork. And then the red is much harder, denser material. Could be the dead phloem. I never looked at it. Alternating. So here's the short of this. An American elm bark can be quite spongy on young to 20-year-olds. Then when they get big, of course, it gets big bark, which we can't see here. But then what you do is you slice into the side of the bark and look for the layers, and it'll look like layer cake with the white, red, white, red, white.